So right here, I have the 2024 Land Cruiser, and I'm pretty excited about this one because this is a popular vehicle. I mean, it's made by Toyota, and a lot of people have their own opinions about it, whether they are very excited or they don't really care. But in this video, I want to talk about some of the things that the Land Cruiser offers and how much it costs, and is that price fair? Let's get into it. The color of this Land Cruiser in particular is called Meteor Shower, which in other words is silver or gray, depending on how you look at it. And it has a starting price of $55,950. It has 18-inch dark gray metallic alloy wheels, and around front here, it also comes with these heritage inspired circular LED headlights. And on top of the heritage inspired circular LED headlights, right here in the front, you also have your integrated fog lights and LED daytime running lights. But in the center of the 1958, which this is the one that we're reviewing in this video, the 1958 being the lowest trim level, to the middle one being the Land Cruiser, and the top trim level being the first edition. This one has the black Toyota Heritage grille, which I actually do love the design. It actually gives it that feel of the Land Cruiser. Underneath here, it has the skid plate, and it has about an 8-inch ground clearance, as I'm showing you right here in the video. 2 tow hooks, one on each side, as you can see, one on the left and one on the right. The 1958 trim does have the basic mud flaps. So me personally, the body of the Land Cruiser, I love the look of it. It has a kind of army truck kind of look, and it kind of looked like it's ready to handle what it's prepared to handle. And here it has these boxy type of mirrors, and it also has the blind spot monitoring as well as the integrated turn signals. But I do like the way that it looks, and these little ridges off to the side in the design of it. I really do appreciate the quality to detail on these and how they work. And the door handles unlock when you grab the handle, as long as you have the key nearby, like in your pocket or something. But this is cool. When it's unlocked, you can touch the handle on the outside and it will lock. Then down here at the bottom, it has this black trim that goes across and over the wheel. And if you look up here, you will see how they have 3 individual window panes in the back. But I like the way that they laid it out, how they have one in the front, one in the back, but they have one small one in the middle, which I just like the way that they did that. Here it has the LED taillights and the raised badging on the back. All of Toyota Land Cruisers do have the iForce Max hybrid system. It has this all black bumper, and this one has the cover on the hitch, which I do actually like that you could even put a cover over the hitch, because some vehicles do not give you the option to do so. But you can also see all the connections and everything here. In the full size spare tire underneath, the black raised Land Cruiser badging right here, and the Toyota in the middle. And then if you push this button, it pops the glass open so you can reach into the back like this, which I think that was a very good feature. And obviously, because the Land Cruiser is used for all terrains, like I mentioned before in the video, if you're out and about, is an easier way to get in the vehicle rather than having to open the trunk every time you need something out of it. And if you were to open the gas cap, which is not one of those you can push to open from the outside, you actually have to go inside of the vehicle in order to open the fuel door. This vehicle actually does take premium gas, which not what I would prefer out of the Land Cruiser. Obviously, me personally, I thought it did take regular gas when I first was talking about the Land Cruiser. To be completely honest, I thought that the Lexus GX 550 would be the vehicle that Toyota chose to take the premium gas, considering as the luxury option. But the Land Cruiser itself also takes premium gas, so keep that in mind if you're in the market to get a Land Cruiser. So say for example, you wanted to buy the Land Cruiser 1958 outright, you wanted to own it. And like I said, the MSRP is $55,950. So this Land Cruiser 1958 in particular does have an add-on, and that will be an additional $499 that we will talk about in just a minute. Plus, you would have to add sales tax, which in my area is 7%, which comes out to be $4,049.08. Plus, there is a delivery fee that will be an additional $1,395 that we will have to add on as well. And you can't drive off the lot without car insurance. For this 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser 1958, you're looking at about $199.50 a month on average. So if you're looking at MSRP, the add-ons, the delivery fee, the sales tax, and the insurance, the total for the 2024 Land Cruiser 1958, you will be looking at $62,092.58 in order to drive that off the lot and own it outright. But let's check out the inside of the Land Cruiser. First off, this being the base model, it doesn't have power adjusted seats, so you do have to manually adjust them. This Land Cruiser in particular does have the all-weather floor liners that are additional $499. But inside here, the doors are pretty basic, your regular functions such as your window controls, your door handle, a little bit of space under here, a cup holder there. And if you come over here and check out the steering wheel, you of course have all your usual controls, and it has push to start as well. And you have some basic tactile buttons over here on the left for just some additional controls. And back here behind the steering wheel, there is this 7-inch digital gauge cluster that just shows you all your basic driving information. And if you look over here, you would see that there's a circular vent, which I love this design because you could actually use the vent how it is intended to be used. Whenever you point it at you, it's actually pointed at you. You don't have to go through some certain grid in order to get the air to blow at a certain direction. It also has auto dimming rear view mirror with compass and home link. And over here in the center, the 1958 has an 8-inch touchscreen display. Right under that screen, it has these vents right here, and then your tactile buttons for the front heated seats and the climate control. Over here for the heated steering wheel. But right here is the mode select knob to change the driving mode between sport, normal, and eco, which it displays which mode you're in here on the digital cluster. There's also 3 USB-C ports here underneath. At the bottom here is a storage space. The 1958 doesn't have wireless charging, but it is still a good place to set your phone. And back here, it has a leather wrapped shift knob as well as electronic parking brake here, and your other driving controls here. Then there's 2 cup holders here for the front that has these pieces that fold in for larger cups. Of course, the center console, which in my opinion is nice and it does have decent space, but for the Land Cruiser, I did expect a little bit more. I do know the first edition has a cool down box, which is super cool and I would really like to try. It has this black fabric interior. The Land Cruiser also has the Land Cruiser lettering on the dash and the lockable glove box. And just to show you, like I said, this is the base 1958 trim. Okay, and if you look up over here, you can see that they have some overhead lights, and I like the way that they work. Now let's check out the back seat and how much space it is back here. So jumping right here in the back, this vehicle does have a lot of space in the back in my own opinion. Like I always say in my videos, I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I'm not the shortest guy in the world. As you can see, I got space between my knees in the back seat, and I also have space from my head to the top of the vehicle. It has a climate control panel for the second row, and it has a vent on each side, which personally I have to say this isn't something I've seen in any vehicle that I've reviewed so far in the 2024. Then down below that, there is a 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-C ports. Then there's this Land Cruiser logo on the top of the center console, which I love this touch. It looks very clean. It looks very elegant. They also have cup holders right here in the center. You know, you drop them down, and the back seats also fold up just by pulling this lever here on each side. And once you have the seats pulled up, if you look right here in between here, hopefully you can get a good view of it, but there's a platform in the back all the way in the trunk, but you could reach it from the back seat and you could pull it up for a little bit of storage. So around back here, when you open up the tailgate, first and foremost, I will say the Land Cruiser has a lot of space in the trunk personally. There's also USB ports back here, as well as the tie down hooks and more vents too. And it also has the first aid kit back here as well. So we know how much it costs to buy the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser 1958, but how much does it cost to finance it? Remember, the MSRP for this vehicle is $55,950 plus the add-on of $499, and we cannot forget the delivery fee, which costs $1,395. In the 7% sales tax, which was $4,049.08, and that brings the overall total to $61,893.08. And say you wanted to finance this vehicle for 72 months, which is 6 years, with an 8% APR with $0 down. That means your monthly payments would be about $1,085.19 a month on average. So we also cannot forget about the car insurance, which would be an additional $199.50, bringing our overall monthly cost to $1,284.69 in order to finance the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser 1958 under these terms. So the starting price, or the MSRP, for this vehicle is $55,950, and that's for the 1958, which is the lowest trim on the Land Cruiser lineup. Do you feel like it's worth that price with it missing a sunroof? It does not have a wireless charging pad. I do understand there's people in the market that don't want their vehicles to have too many moving parts due to the fact that that's more maintenance to the vehicle. But personally, I want to ask you, do you feel like the 1958 is worth the price? Me personally, I do not feel like the 1958 is worth the price due to the fact of it missing or lacking a lot of features that I am looking for in a vehicle. Me, I'm more so leaning towards the first edition because it does have all the features I'm looking for in a vehicle. But I'm not talking to myself in this video. Hopefully not. I mean, currently I am. But I want to hear from you guys. Comment below and tell me what you think of the price starting at $55,950. That's MSRP. That's not total what you would pay over the course of time or add-ons if you decide to buy it outright. So let me know in the comments. But with that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one.